Social media can make people famous overnight, but sometimes it connects them with the wrong kind of attention. In recent years, several TikTokers have crossed paths with dangerous cartels, often without realizing it until it was too late. In this video, we'll look at 5 real stories of TikTokers who messed with the wrong cartels and paid the price for it. It was August 22, 2025 in Guadalajara, Mexico. A gray Ford Ranger sat parked on a quiet street in the San Andres neighborhood. Locals noticed it had been there since early morning and hadn't moved. When police arrived, they made a discovery that shocked the entire country. Inside the truck were 4 bodies wrapped in plastic. Within days, authorities confirmed the victims were 32-year-old TikTok influencer Esmeralda Ferrer Garibay, her 36-year-old husband Roberto Carlos Gil Lichea, and their 2 children, 13-year-old Gail Santiago and 7-year-old Regina. What looked like an ordinary vehicle had become the scene of a tragedy. Esmeralda, known online as Esmeralda FG, had over 44,000 TikTok followers. She often posted about her luxurious lifestyle, designer brands, vacations, and family moments. Many admired her confidence, while others criticized her for showing off. Her videos sometimes included narco corridos, songs linked to cartel culture. In one post, she posed with a Gucci handbag as the phrase "advantages of having a narco boyfriend" appeared on screen. It went viral, viewed nearly 140,000 times. Esmeralda and her family had recently moved to Guadalajara from Michoacan, a region known for its strong cartel presence. Roberto sold vehicles and grew tomatoes, working hard to support his family, but danger in that area was constant. Hoping for a safer life, the family relocated for work opportunities. Prosecutor Alfonso Gutierrez Santillan confirmed that the bodies found in the truck were Esmeralda, Roberto, and their children. The condition of the scene suggested the act was deliberate and carefully planned. Security footage led investigators to a nearby mechanic shop. Inside, they found blood, bullet casings, and other evidence showing the family had likely been killed there before being placed in the truck and abandoned. 3 men working at or near the shop were taken in for questioning, but later released due to lack of evidence. Moments after leaving the prosecutor's office, 2 of those men, along with 2 relatives, were kidnapped by armed men waiting outside. Witnesses said masked attackers forced them into vehicles. 1 man escaped, but the others remain missing. Authorities later confirmed the attack was organized, suggesting someone powerful wanted to silence them. Investigators believe Roberto may have been the main target. His car sales and farming work could have placed him in conflict with organized groups in Michoacan. Esmeralda's online image displaying wealth and luxury might have also drawn unwanted attention. While no proof links the couple to any criminal activity, even the appearance of wealth can be dangerous in cartel-controlled regions. The Jalisco Attorney General's office continues to investigate. Forensic teams collected blood and bullet shells from the shop, but progress has been slow. The disappearance of the kidnapped men may hold the key to what really happened. Everything pointed to one conclusion: the family had been killed at the shop and moved afterward. Esmeralda's last TikTok post, shared on August 7th, showed her driving on her ranch. It seemed ordinary then, but it became her final video. Fans flooded her page with messages of grief and disbelief. Authorities still have no arrests, no confirmed suspects, and no clear motive. Whether it was business-related, mistaken identity, or something deeper remains unknown. The suspects are missing and the case remains open. Esmeralda's bright online life now stands frozen, a silent reminder of how quickly image and reality can collide in a country where danger often hides in plain sight. It was October 24, 2023, in Padre Hurtado, a quiet suburb southwest of Santiago, Chile. 24-year-old TikTok influencer Sabrina Duran Montero got into her car to visit a nail salon. She wore a Tommy Hilfiger shirt, gold jewelry, and had her phone with her. What she didn't know was that some masked men were watching. Within minutes, her car would be surrounded, ending her life in one of Chile's most shocking daylight attacks that year. To her fans, she was La Ina, or the Narco Queen. On TikTok, she was known for beauty tutorials, product promotions, and flashy dances. Behind that confident online image, though, was a double life that mixed social media fame with involvement in Chile's criminal underworld. Born in 1999 in Recoleta, Santiago, Sabrina was the youngest of 9 siblings. Her family faced financial struggles, and crime was common in her neighborhood. By her teens, she had started helping distribute illegal substances. Court records later showed her involvement long before she turned 20, shaping the rest of her life. In 2021, she joined TikTok, using the names Katrina Guzman and Joaquina Guzman, inspired by a famous Mexican drug boss. At first, her videos were normal, makeup tips, hair routines, and dances, but her image soon stood out: gold chains, tattoos, designer outfits, and luxury cars. It was a lifestyle that projected power. Her popularity grew fast. By 2023, she had more than 430,000 followers and 13 million likes. Many admired her confidence, while others saw her as a troubling sign of Chile's growing narco culture. where criminal life was glamorized online. Police later confirmed that Sabrina and her two brothers were part of a drug network in Santiago, dealing in cannabis and other illegal substances. They operated mainly in Peñaflor, a neighborhood struggling with crime. Early in 2023, Chilean police raided several properties linked to them and found illegal substances, money, and weapons. Sabrina was arrested and later sentenced to 3 years in prison. Even behind bars in San Miguel Women's Penitentiary, Sabrina stayed active online. Using a smuggled cell phone, she posted TikToks showing herself dancing and promoting products from her cell. Her clips drew millions of views and criticism of Chile's prison system, where thousands of phones were being smuggled each year. While imprisoned, Sabrina met another inmate, 29-year-old Antonella Marchant, part of a powerful family involved in the illegal drug trade. The two women became close and later started a relationship. In May 2023, after serving part of her sentence, Sabrina was released on parole. She returned to TikTok immediately, posting upbeat videos that hinted at reflection and change. But soon her luxury lifestyle reappeared. Gold jewelry, cars, and wealth. Many felt she was returning to dangerous territory. Months later, on October 24, 2023, as she drove to a salon, 3 men intercepted her vehicle. Witnesses saw masked men open fire. She tried to escape but was struck multiple times before the attackers fled and burned her car in Quilicura. She was taken to a hospital but passed away from her injuries. The attack shocked Chile. Police said it was a targeted hit likely tied to her criminal past. She had reportedly received threats before her death. Her final TikTok, posted hours earlier, showed her smiling and promoting hair products. After her death, it gained millions of views as fans flooded the comments with messages of grief. Experts said her story reflected how narco-culture had deeply influenced Chile's youth. Sociologist Rodrigo Ganter said figures like Sabrina had become symbols of success in poor communities. Others, like security analyst Pilar Lizana, said the issue showed the public's growing mistrust in government and law enforcement. Sabrina left behind a 10-year-old son. Officials said her case revealed how lack of opportunity often drives young people toward crime. Her funeral was labeled high risk due to her gang connections, with police deployed to prevent a violent event. No arrests have been made. Her attackers remain unidentified. Sabrina Duran Montero's story is one of fame, danger, and consequence. Behind her glamorous online image was a life tied to risk, and in the end, that world caught up to her. It was May 13, 2025, in Zapopan, Jalisco, Mexico. Valeria Marquez, a 23-year-old model, businesswoman, and influencer, was live streaming from her salon, Blossom Beauty Lounge. She was known for her calm tone and friendly personality while sharing beauty tips and her daily life online. But that day, something felt off. During the live stream, Valeria looked nervous. Her voice shook slightly as she told her viewers, "I'm worried." Earlier, 2 men had come to her salon pretending to deliver a gift. They said they needed to hand it to her personally and promised to return later. When Valeria heard this, she seemed uneasy. Trying to hide her fear, she said, "Were they going to take me away or what? Maybe they were going to hurt me," forcing a laugh that didn't sound convincing. Zapopan was known for its wealth and modern image, but it also had deep ties to organized crime. The Jalisco New Generation Cartel controlled much of the region, and even luxury neighborhoods were not safe. Valeria had grown popular online. Born on February 14, 2002, she started modeling at 16 for Vicchio Vanidad and later worked with brands like Golden Deluxe and Beauty Body Level. She was crowned Miss Rostro in 2021 and soon launched her own salon in 2024. She had studied dentistry before moving into cosmetology, but with fame came risks. In a previous video, Valeria admitted she once dated people involved in dangerous circles, but had since changed her lifestyle. During her live stream, she tried to stay calm, chatting with followers as she applied makeup. Suddenly, someone off camera said, "Hey, Vale?" A man wearing a mask entered, holding a stuffed toy and a Starbucks bag. Valeria smiled nervously, thinking it was a gift. Moments later, the man pulled out a gun and fired. The stream shook and Valeria collapsed. The camera kept rolling briefly before someone ended the live. Police arrived at 6:30 p.m. Valeria had been struck in the chest and head and was pronounced dead at the scene. Witnesses said a masked man and an accomplice on a motorcycle fled immediately after the shooting. Investigators said the shooter asked for the victim by name, suggesting he had been hired. Just hours earlier, another shooting had taken place nearby. The death of former Congressman Luis Armando Cordoba Diaz, also by 2 men on a motorcycle. Authorities began to question if the cases were connected. Valeria had over 113,000 TikTok followers and nearly 200,000 combined across her social media platforms. Fans flooded her pages with messages, and flowers and candles filled the sidewalk outside her salon. The Jalisco prosecutor's office opened an investigation under the Femicide Protocol, and President Claudia Sheinbaum offered condolences, promising justice. Reports later showed that Valeria had told friends she was nervous about meeting someone that day. The men who came earlier with the gift fit the same description as the attackers. Although officials did not confirm cartel involvement, suspicions pointed toward the Jalisco New Generation Cartel. One of its top members, Ricardo Ruiz Velasco, known as El Doble R, was later sanctioned by the U.S. Treasury, which cited Valeria's case in its report on violence against women. Some media claimed Valeria may have once known Velasco, though it was never confirmed. What was clear was that she had tried to leave that world behind. Her family buried her days later, but even her grave was vandalized. Investigators reviewed surveillance footage, phone data, and social media activity, but made no arrests. Valeria's death exposed how dangerous Jalisco had become. Despite Zapopan's wealthy image, the area was deeply affected by organized crime. Since 2018, more than 15,000 people have disappeared there. Her case came just 2 days after another live-stream killing, that of mayoral candidate Yesenia Lara Gutierrez in Veracruz. In 2024 alone, nearly 850 women were killed in Mexico under similar circumstances. For Valeria's followers, it was hard to believe they had watched her final moments live. Hours before the attack, she had posted her last Instagram story, a mirror photo. She was 23 years old, young, talented, and full of plans. But on May 13, 2025, everything ended inside her own salon during a live stream watched by thousands. The case remains open. No arrests have been made, and Valeria's last words still echo, "I'm worried." It was the night of October 19, 2024 in Culiacan, Sinaloa, a city long known for cartel activity. On Musala Island, 30-year-old Juan Carlos Lopez, better known as El Chilango, was doing what he always did, selling candy from his stroller while filming TikTok videos. He was a cheerful man, known for his upbeat attitude and daily posts, but his videos often included references to the Sinaloa cartel and its leaders, which would later prove dangerous. Around 7:45 that evening, the streets were busy with cars and people. Juan Carlos stood near the median, smiling and setting up his candy stroller. A motorcycle carrying 2 men slowly approached. Without stopping, they raised their weapons and opened fire. Loud bursts echoed across the street. People screamed and ran for cover. Within seconds, Juan Carlos fell to the ground. The shooter sped off into the traffic and vanished. When the gunfire stopped, onlookers came out from hiding. In front of a bank and gas station, Juan Carlos lay motionless beside his stroller. Candies were scattered across the pavement. Police arrived quickly, sealing off the area. Investigators from the State Attorney General's office examined the scene and found clear signs of a planned hit. Juan Carlos's death shocked many. He wasn't just a street vendor, he was a familiar online face. Under the name El Chilango, he had thousands of followers who enjoyed his lighthearted videos. He also sold USB drives with regional music from Sinaloa, but some of his posts praised the Sinaloa cartel and its leaders, including Joaquin El Chapo Guzman and his sons, known as Los Chapitos. In several videos, he mentioned them by name or sent greetings their way, something that may have drawn unwanted attention. In a place like Culiacan, such references can be misinterpreted as loyalty or disrespect. Juan Carlos had also appeared in videos with YouTuber Marquitos Toys, who was accused by journalist Anabel Hernandez of having links to the Los Chapitos group, though he denied the claims. Only weeks earlier, clashes between rival factions in Sinaloa had increased. Anyone linked even loosely to these groups could be seen as a target. To many, Juan Carlos's online presence may have made him look connected to one side. Police collected evidence and security footage, but made no arrests. Officials described it as a targeted attack by unidentified individuals. Most locals already understood what that meant. It had all the signs of a cartel-style operation. Back in 2017, Juan Luis Lagunas Rosales, known as El Pirata de Culiacan, was attacked in Jalisco after posting comments online about another cartel leader. His death became a warning to creators mixing fame with criminal references. Despite that, many still do it. For some, it's admiration or cultural expression. For others, it's a way to gain attention. But in cities like Culiacan, even a name can be dangerous. The next day, local media described Juan Carlos as a TikToker and candy vendor, targeted for his alleged cartel connections. Police promised a full investigation, but few expected answers. In Sinaloa, most cases like this remain unsolved. The attackers vanish. Witnesses stay silent and the stories fade. Juan Carlos El Chilango Lopez's life ended on the same streets that made him known. What began as light-hearted videos about candy and laughter crossed paths with the harsh reality of cartel life. That night, flashing police lights filled the area. His candy stroller stood beside him untouched. The official report stated he was found dead at the scene. No arrests have been made. Juan Carlos is gone. But his story remains another chilling reminder of how fragile online fame can be in a place where every word can carry deadly weight. It was July 8, 2022 in Guadalajara, Mexico. Rodolfo Fofo Marquez, an influencer known across Mexico, was preparing to film what he thought would be another viral video. Born into wealth, Fofo lived a life of luxury. His father owned a successful gas station chain called Total, and from a young age, Fofo had everything he wanted: cars, designer clothes, and fame. Online, he was known as the King of Mexico, constantly showing off his riches and power. That morning, he wanted to do something big. His plan was to block one of Guadalajara's busiest bridges, the Matute Remus Bridge, using his luxury cars, just to prove what money and power could do. Fofo arrived, bringing different sports cars. They were parked across all lanes during rush hour, bringing traffic to a stop. Horns blared, people shouted. Fofo laughed and began recording. "We're closing it," he said into his phone. "We're going to dance and make TikToks so you can see what money can do here in Mexico." As the chaos unfolded, Fofo filmed himself smiling at the angry crowd. "This is power," he said. "People are upset." He called himself the king, insisting it wasn't arrogance, just confidence. After several minutes, they left, leaving behind a city in gridlock. The video went online that evening and hit over 10 million views by morning. Some praised him, but most were furious. Local radio host Ramiro Escoto tweeted, "Affecting thousands just to show off money. This is what social media is doing to people." News outlets condemned the stunt. Even Guadalajara's mayor criticized Fofo for endangering others. TikTok deleted the video and suspended his account. Soon, Fofo was fined and ordered to clean the same bridge as community service. Wearing a vest, he filmed an apology. "I wanted to show what money and power can do, but I was wrong." He thought it was over, but it wasn't. Guadalajara is a stronghold of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, one of Mexico's most feared criminal groups. A few days later, a message appeared online. "We are the Jalisco New Generation Cartel." The influencer Fofo Marquez blocked the Matute Remus Bridge. "We will not allow this disrespect. If he returns to Guadalajara, not even his money will save him." Many thought it was fake, but locals knew better. Fofo panicked. His family moved him back to Mexico City and hired armed guards. The influencer who once flaunted his freedom was now living in fear. Months passed. He stayed offline, avoiding attention. Rumors spread that he had left Mexico, but those close to him said he simply lived in hiding. Even with guards, he couldn't relax. Every sound made him anxious. Fofo's confidence vanished. His wealth, once a source of pride, now felt like a burden. Other influencers took his story as a warning. In a country where powerful groups control territories, even a prank could turn into a real threat. Fofo eventually kept a low profile, rarely appearing in public and limiting his online activity. He once said, "This is what money and power can do." Now he knows power and money can't protect you from fear.